Hey, what's up, welcome back to the channel. Today I have with me the HX Stomp XL and I have with me the Line 6 Pod Go. Now you might be in the market for one of these. You might be trying to get into the world of electric guitar, and these are fairly similar in their features and size and price, kind of. We're actually gonna go all over that. No, we're actually gonna go over all of that today in this video to try to help you decide which one you should get. I will say they're both great. I don't think you can make a wrong decision, but you need to make the best decision for your application, your context, what you want to do. So let's get into it. Now, just like in the last video where I compared the Helix versus the HX Stomp, the first thing we're going to talk about is price, because we can't really categorize our thoughts if we don't know how much money we're planning on spending. The Pod Go right here will set you back $499, whereas the HX Stomp XL will set you back $649. So you have a $150 difference. And I will say, if money is the bottom line for you, well, there you go. This is $150 cheaper. But maybe you want to hear more. Maybe you're thinking, okay, but I might want to invest $150 more if there are some benefits over here that I don't get with this. Well, let's see. The next category I want to talk about is size and portability. As you can see, the Pod Go is much bigger. It is probably, they are about the same weight. I would say the HX Stomp XL is a little lighter, but one of the things you do get with the Pod Go is this nifty little handle, built-in handle. So for portability, that's a huge plus. But what's cool about the HX Stomp XL, and I just shared this on Instagram the other day, is that this fits perfectly into my guitar case, so I don't even have to have a separate case for it. Let me show you. I mean, look at that. That is amazing. It's like it was made for it. And the HX Stomp XL is more likely to fit on a pedal board with some other pedals. Like if you want a mini board, this actually still fits on a mini board. If you guys remember a few videos back, I reviewed this D'Addario miniature expander board, and the HX Stomp XL would totally fit on this. You can fit that right there on the side, and since none of the jacks are on the side like the regular HX Stomp, you can put other pedals right next to it. How cool is that? I mean, that looks good. Oh great, this has like tons of Velcro on the back. I'm never gonna get this off. Way to go, Jimmy. Velcro's nice. So, size and portability, both are great, both have their pros and cons. I mean, the handle on the back here, that's pretty nice with the Pod Go, but I love the HX Stomp as well. Okay, let's talk about features. Now, on the back, they both have the same ins and outs, like the same exact, except for I think the Pod Go has 8 here. I think the HX Stomp XL has 9, and that's just because it has a single stereo send and a dual stereo return, whereas the Pod Go has just 2 stereo single jacks right here. They both have the same amount of foot switches. They both have the up and down here, A, B, C, D, and they both have a mode and tap tuner, so they're basically the same there. Exactly the same. However, I will note real quick, right here it shows that this is a down arrow and that's an up arrow, and that this is an up arrow and that's a down arrow, but when you plug them in, they don't act the same, unless it's a setting I haven't figured out. Hold on a second. Let's boot these things up with the Chalks DC7, the Logston Audio dual current doubler cable, and see what we're dealing with. Yeah, so right here, you probably can't see. Can you see that? This one, when I hit this snapshot up, it actually counts up through the snapshots, like 1, 2, 3, 4, and back to 1. If I hit this one up, it actually goes straight to 4. Like down is up and up is down. And I haven't seen a way to fix that. These arrows say up and down, but the arrows here on the menu say down and up. So I always wondered why I was getting confused, because I play with this one a lot, and then I get there, I'm like, wait, which one's up and down? I can never remember. But if you just had one, you would probably just get used to it. It would be no big deal. Now, a glaring difference, and potentially huge, is the fact that the Pod Go has its own built-in expression pedal. I mean, that is so convenient. And remember, this is the unit that's 150 less. And remember, it still has the port in the back for another expression pedal, so you can add more expression to it. This one, if you want expression pedal, you're just gonna have to add it yourself. But another feature that may be huge for you is the fact that the Pod Go only has 4 available empty blocks that you can do whatever you want with, where the HX Stomp starts with a clean slate. You have up to 8 empty blocks that you can do whatever you want with. If you just want to run your HX Stomp XL into an amp and have 8 different overdrives, if DSP allows, you can do that. You can't really do that with the Pod Go. You're stuck with only 4 open blocks unless you've gotten hold of the Expanse Pack for the Pod Go, which I sell it for all the units, but the Pod Go has the jailbreak preset in it where I have found out how to open up more blocks. But you're still stuck with like the amp and the cab, and you're not with the HX Stomp XL. So that could be a huge factor for you as well. And now that we've talked about blocks, we're kind of getting into the realm of sound. So how do they sound? They both sound great because they're both pulling from the Helix sounds. Now the Pod Go has some less sounds than the HX Stomp XL, and even more since the Helix update of the 3.15. They're not on the same schedule. This is not a Helix product, but the amps and cabs, they're all the same. It's just that this one is missing some of them. Another big plus for the HX Stomp XL that may affect the way it sounds is the fact that the Pod Go has a single stereo path, where this HX Stomp XL, you're allowed to drag things on a second stereo path. This is huge for certain people I can think of. Bass players, first of all, need to utilize the second path, being able to drop things down there so you can retain your full bass sound and apply effects to it, rather than playing bass through the Pod Go, which wouldn't sound bad, but if you run an overdrive into your bass cab, it's gonna be into your bass cab. You're not gonna be able to essentially run a wet, dry mix like you can with the XL. So this is a little more limiting. Over here, you can also do the same thing with reverbs and delays and apply your wet section to your dry signal, and you can get really creative with some complex signal paths. But to hear what they sound like, I'm gonna pull up the same preset from my Expanse Pack in each of them and see if you can hear a difference. All right, this is the HWL-H Matchstick preset from the Expanse Pack through the Pod Go. Here we go. Now let's go pull the same preset with the XL. Sounds really good. Now there are probably more differences that I didn't mention. Let me know down in the comments if you think of any that would help some of us who are trying to decide between these two units, which ones we should get. The questions to ask yourself are, how much money do I have? Do I need to spend $650 or could I get by with only $500? Maybe you don't need to spend any of that and you need to stay with what you have. Just gotta say. Number 2, the size of these things. What are you gonna be doing with it? Is it gonna be sitting on your shelf or on your desk all the time and it doesn't matter? You can be trying to cram it in your backpack or even your guitar case like I do. What are you gonna be doing with it? That may help you decide. Maybe the expression on the Pod Go, the fact that it's already built in, maybe that seals the deal for you. Maybe you already have an expression pedal though, and you just want to include it with your HX Stomp XL. Or maybe you also have a bunch of other pedals and you still wanna, or just a few other pedals, and you wanna make a mini board and the XL is still small enough to fit on that board. Is that important for you? Or maybe the fact that the Pod Go only has 4 blocks and you have much more flexibility in the unit to create the sounds that you want in the XL. Maybe that's more important to you. And then there's the sound test. Could you even hear the difference? I think maybe if anything, the XL has the upper hand a little bit if you're just listening really closely because it technically has more DSP to drive this, but the DSP in the Pod Go is made specifically for the effects that are in it, so you shouldn't be able to tell a difference. And I know if you're playing live, no one's gonna be able to tell a difference, so there's that. And then the last one I thought was kind of a big deal, do you play bass? Because if you play bass, I would say just go with the XL. That way you can drop things down on the second path. Or if you love ambient stuff and you want to get creative, like on the parallel preset that I have, where you can just like make your own reverbs and still retain your original guitar tone. You can't do that kind of stuff with the Pod Go. So if you're into that kind of stuff, I'm thinking you're leaning towards the XL, but there's so many good features with the Pod Go. I don't know, let me know down in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Oh, and can I just say, I woke up this morning to 10,000 subscribers. Thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. I'm gonna be doing a giveaway, and I was gonna record that video today, but I needed one more kit, one more piece of unit that has not come in the mail yet. So, and then I'm going out of town on staff retreat, so I'll get it eventually, and you're gonna love it, because it's a big, nice giveaway. So, make sure you subscribe, hit the bell, you know what to do. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.